Okay, for today, we're going to be working questions 29 and 30. I'm giving you guys the equations, and I'm asking classify the paired of equations. Excuse the typo, I forgot to type in the space. So classify the paired of equations as parallel lines, perpendicular lines, same line, or neither. Okay? I know we talk about slope. Yesterday, we were talking about the slope. Now, we have an equation that we say, let me write this. This might be familiar to you. We call it the slope intercept line, which we write it as y equals mx plus b. M and b are numbers. M tends to be a fraction most of the time. My m, this is the slope of the line. We use the letter m because when we graph, remember in algebra, when you guys were graphing, the slope told you how to move. The slope of a mountain. So that's where the M comes from. Now the B, this gives us the y-intercept. Now we use the letter B because when you get where guys were graphing, that's where you begin, right? That was the first point. So it's easy to graph, just plot the beginning point on the y-axis and then use the slope to know how to move. But in this case, in reality, we're just looking at the slope. We're just going to be looking at the slope. So in my first line, my slope is a number in front of the x. My slope is -1. On my second line, my slope is a number in front of the x. When we just see the negative sign, basically is -1. My slope in this case is -1. So they have the same slope. Now, when they have the same slope, it can either be parallel lines, or maybe I just gave you the same line. I just gave you the same line twice. The way we're going to tell whether it's the same line or not, look at the y-intercept. My first line crosses a +9, and the second line crosses a -10. They have different y-intercepts, so it's not the same line. In this case, it is going to be parallel. Pretty cool, huh? Just look at the slope. Way, way easier than yesterday, right? Now let's take a look at number 30. We're going to classify the pair of lines as parallel lines, perpendicular lines, same line, or neither. Now, it would be nice if we had this written in slope intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. Let me take a look at my first line. -x plus 9y equals -27. Let me separate it because my other line is going to be x minus 9y equals 54. I'm going to be comparing my two lines. And I really want them as y equals mx plus b. So I want the y by itself. The first thing I'm going to do in my first line, my -x, I'm going to move it to the other side as a +x. So I have the 9y equals. Now, -27 plus x, I cannot combine them because they're not like terms. One of them has an x, the other one does not. What I'm going to do, I cannot combine them, so I'm going to write both of them. Do me a favor and write the one with the x first. So it's +x. So I'm going to write this as +x minus 27. I cannot combine them. They're not like terms. Now, I'm going to divide everything by 9. So I'm going to divide everything here by 9, every little thing. So that way I get y by itself. Now here, technically, there's not a number in front of the x. I don't see a number. When you don't see a number, technically is a 1. So I'm going to say here, 1 over 9x minus 27 divided by 9 is 3. I see my slope now. I see my y-intercept. Let's take a look at the next line. I'm going to move this x as a minus x. So I have -9y is equal to -x plus 54. Remember, I couldn't combine them, but do write the one with the x first. Now let me divide everything by 9. This by 9. Oh, by -9, actually. So the negative and the 9 cancel out. Here, the negatives cancel out. But I'm going to get 1 over 9x. Remember, there's a 1 in front of the x. Now for my last number, positive divided by negative is negative. 54 divided by 9 is 6. Now I see my slopes are the same, right? 1 over 9. The y-intercepts are different. One of my first line crosses the y-axis at -3. My second line crosses the y-axis at -6. The slope is the same, different y-intercept. Therefore, we're going to call this parallel. If they had the same slope and the same y-intercept, we call that same line. And remember, for them to be perpendicular, the slopes have to be negative reciprocal. So that means different signs, and they are reciprocals of each other. So just for you guys to see what we did today.